What's up? We're back here on FF Media and all over the place with another episode of Wallstreet and Web3, hosted by HHTrader and myself. What's up, H?
Nothing much, man. Been sitting out here. I'm very glad that this week has really exposed so much of the aftermath of the shutdown and the aftermath of all of this tornado of political and possible Fed rate cuts and all of this grandeur. But I'm just here to get my piece and try not to give up my shoes and shoestrings and continue to roll on.
Yeah, man, you can definitely lose your shoestrings right now for sure, whether it's in the stock market or crypto. Been a wild couple of weeks with this massive crash in crypto. Seeing Bitcoin down all the way back. It's under 100,000, right? Back like 86,000.
Almost 80K. Yep.
Solana down to 120. I don't really care about Ethereum, but I think it's down probably like 2,000 or something like that. However, some cryptos to note right off the bat before we really dive into it. XRP still holding around that $2 mark. Still getting a lot of investments from institutions and hedge funds on the back end, getting adopted in other ways. They've got NFT. I didn't know this. XRP has NFT launch pads and stuff on their blockchain. I didn't think it had all that. Thought it was just for a payment system. So I'm about to dive into that world. Shout out to Demon Dan. He's dropping music over there on XRP.
Oh man, I think what?
Yeah, I didn't either. Demon Dan
thought they were just a bank or something.
That's what I thought. I didn't think it was all like Solana and some of the other chains where it's a party.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a crazy downturn. And I haven't looked at the stock market as much. Is it downturn as well?
So, one of the things that I've been kind of focusing more on is the large caps. As a small cap trader, focusing on those large caps it just paints a clear picture. It is very clear of what's going on, what needs to be focused on, and the focus of the past month or month and a half has been NVIDIA. So basically on my podcast, that's what we do is research first. We don't touch any stocks or anything. We go do our due diligence. NVIDIA comes up every single day. The reason is, one, when we're thinking about all of this crypto and stuff and the inclusion of AI, we're talking about new data centers. We're talking about new infrastructure, and all of this can be tied into crypto. And so NVIDIA going up literally carried it's almost like the new SPY. If NVIDIA is going down, everything's going down. If NVIDIA is going up, everything's going up. So, you see all these off to the side companies that are just scheming. You got Oracle out there. You got AMD. You got MSTR. All of these companies just waiting to see. Okay, as the AI bubble goes, or we call it, everybody's like, is it a bubble or is it not? I think every move up is a bubble. Eventually it's going to face gravity. But what keeps it up? What new things are they actually creating to keep it afloat? So many loans are being done. I saw OpenAI. They've got a sponsorship with almost everybody in the Big Ten. Everybody that looks like they know something about AI is OpenAI has a sponsorship with. So I'm like, if all of this is going up, OpenAI is going to have to deliver. They're going to have, now they have been delivering, but they're going to have to continue. They're going to have to pull an Elon. Yep.
Now, and then ChatGPT was sold to the government, to U.S. government as well, right? And now you can't get like medical information and stuff on there.
Yeah. They had a couple of updates. I saw a couple of posts about kids going on ChatGPT and asking different questions about suicide and all that. And ChatGPT was answering that first. It was like, oh yeah, this is how you do this. Oh, you get your rope, you do this, tie it up this way. And so a lot more regulations are being put into
Oh no,
place to
no.
save that.
That's nonsense. They're trying to use that as the excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, no, people can kill themselves very easily. It's not hard to figure out a way to kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's why the suicide rates are so high.
Yep.
That's just the government saying we don't want everybody to have this much power at their fingertips. This is too much power. People are starting to realize some things, are starting to learn some things with credit, with different things. They're starting to utilize it. Lots of millionaires are being made every second right now because of AI. You can build apps and do all this stuff with it. So I think they're using that as an excuse for sure. But that's really crazy.
I think it is a big power play, though. Whoever controls because they say knowledge is power. If you have a system that can almost act like network nodes in a brain and say, okay, you need this in seconds, you know it. It's hard to have a population that you can control with that much knowledge at the fingertips. That's almost like the limitations of, well, I know Apple folks like to, they always say, oh, you hate Apple. No, Apple takes out the thinking power. For
the record, I do hate Apple.
Yeah, they take out a lot of the thinking power of the people. And when it comes to like when I'm working with people that actually engineer or program and stuff like that, some of them are using Apple, and those folks are usually not low level people that are actually working on the things that can actually give you power in a computer. Most of them are like, oh, let me just get the top level and make a pretty design, but are you getting into the functionality of how things work? And that's what AI does. AI says, okay, I'm going to strip away all the stupidness and give you, and even ChatGPT was given different options. They'll say, hey, do you like this option of how I line this answer up, this option? And it actually learns from you. But,
Google Gemini is doing the same thing.
Yep.
And we saw interest rate cuts from the feds, and they seemingly are going to continue to cut interest rates. So the loans are coming. Loans are getting easier. Getting funding and credit is a lot easier than it was earlier this year in the past few years. And so, like you said, all that funding is going.
Shout out 50-year mortgages.
50-year mortgages. Dude, that is wild. The 50-year mortgages is the wildest thing. Whoever had that idea was talking to ChatGPT. That may be why it's banned, because 50-year mortgages is insane. You might as well just say, I'm just going to work my whole life just for this house, and probably my kids going to have to work for it. But at least we got a house, I guess.
I think one of the biggest reasons that they went that route is because, first of all, they have a lot of analysts. If they know that the focus of the people is usually the payment amount. Okay, so how much you paying a month? Well, I got a 50-year mortgage, but I'm paying, $100 a month. Okay, you're gonna be dead you won't even pay it off.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like you got to focus on the end game, and most people are like, oh, well, I got a good payment. The interest may be high, maybe 8, 10, 11%, but I'm
a homeowner for $100 a month. Although you don't really own that home. Miss $100 payment. Miss one. See what happens. That house is getting yanked. You don't own that house, I promise you. Not paying $100 a month.
Oh yeah. And the thing, even with all of this, on top of all the payments, 50-year mortgage, it's almost like it exponentially is worse when you don't factor in the property taxes. You don't factor in like escrow. You don't factor in all of these other maintenance. You get a leak in the house and you're paying this mortgage. Now you out of another repair cost. It's like you got to calculate all this in.
Yeah. There's a lot more to it. That's for sure. Because you got taxes on the land, even though you're paying. You don't own the house technically because you don't have the whole thing paid off.
Mm-hmm.
You're still paying taxes on that money, on that value of that house.
Yep.
The full amount of those taxes.
one of the dangers that they were talking about with these 50-year mortgages is people that flip houses. So they're not going to hold them long term. So let's say if they get a 50-year mortgage and then they pass it on to the next person, they keep flipping those properties. Yeah, they're not taking on much risk because they're not. It's almost like being in the stock market. The longer you're holding something, the more cancerous it is to you. That 50-year mortgage is cancerous. And somebody could just shift it into your pocket and be like, "Oh yeah, it's a beautiful house, blah blah blah." And you're like, "Oh well, how much you got left on the mortgage?" You're like, "Oh, we only held the house for a year, so we only had it for years." It's like, bro, you're passing me 49 years of.
I'm telling you, it's wild. It's something I did not see coming at all in the real estate market, and I haven't even really thought of all the effects that it's going to have. But I want to be in the REITs that are holding those loans. Who's got the people who's living and working for 50 years to pay it off? Because by the time you pay that off with amortized interest, you're probably going to buy them 6 other houses. So I want to be in those REITs. We got to find those REITs for sure, because this is going to be a big shakeup in the real estate market. I would say it will directly affect the rental market and crash the rental market prices. Because when people can go out and start buying houses for $100 a month, then the rental price has got to drop.
I don't know if it's going to happen because people are reading more. People are way more. There's more people, and we've been sitting in the stock market and crypto. The total volume in the market has increased exponentially. So we know that pain is a good learning indicator. People go through pain and losing in the market, and they're like, wait a minute, 50-year mortgage, let me do a little math. Hold up, let me grab my calculator. They start typing, even if they're not good at math, even if they get the math wrong, it'll still give them some kind of learning experience. Oh, I got this math wrong. I went and got this house. I got burned. Let me teach everybody else not to do this. And that's the learning and the pain. So I'm thinking people are going to pump the brakes on trying to go for those mortgages. And then think about it. What is it, like 70% of people have student loans? So imagine them thinking about this student loan that took them X amount of years to pay off, and you think they're going to jump into a 50-year mortgage just haphazard? Nah, bro. Nah, they already been through it. They missing toes.
I don't know, man. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be
credit cards too.
Yeah,
if they do that, all this news and information on all these different ways to die. It's like 1,000. It's like they show 1,000 ways to die, except credit edition.
Yeah, because they want you to be on all credit. Then you own nothing at all. You just have debt.
I don't know if it's anything wrong with owning nothing, but I think it's something wrong with taking on debt without responsibility.
That's a good one.
If you don't have a strategy or you don't have a financial plan for your debt, that's where you mess up. Rich folks go into debt all the time. They're in millions of dollars of debt, but they have debt. They have plans
for sure. I'm just talking about like everybody who's in debt right now, like in America, who has 3 bedroom, 2-bath house, a couple of cars. They're not making millions of dollars a year. They're just, $250,000, $300,000 a year, something like that. But all of their income is going to paying all that debt. Every month, Yeah, it's gonna get real weird. And taking it back to where are we gonna get the stimulus check that's been rumored around and that Trump's talking about? Is that something that's gonna happen, which could make the economy good short term? It's definitely not a good thing long term, but short term, everybody's gonna spend that money and it's gonna go right back into the economy.
Here's the thing that I was thinking about. So coming up, they are starting to do the change to the PDT rule. Trying to, it's already been approved through one level of the system, but it's going through the next level of the system, moving from 25K down to 2,000K. How many people are going to move that $2,000 and just open up a brokerage account and start day trading.
Oh, I'm
How
coming
many,
back.
you
I'm
know
coming
what I
back to
mean?
stock market, baby.
So
$2,000 of margin,
yeah,
$2,000, and how many times can I trade a week? As much as I
as
want.
much as you want. So that's going to be next. It's supposed to be mid 2026 ish. That's supposed to be closing up. So I mean, everybody's been talking about it, but we just got to see how that goes, because if they drop their refund, I mean, it's and we've already seen what happens when volume comes into the small caps or into the market in general. These moves, we're talking about some of these weeks we've had 300% movers days in a row. So it's like,
Yeah,
how much more will it be, especially in the American US stocks? Because a lot of times we see these big moves in Chinese stocks, but their valuations and their currency is different and they shoot to
yeah.
the moon. But what happens when you have Americans moving the American dollar, that all these other countries are like, man, if I could just have $10,000, I would be happy. It's like, what do you get when that comes into the market and all that volume pours in? I want to see those moves. I'm
Yeah.
like, look, let me just stick my little pinky toe in there and make a couple grand.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. This big crash in the market is right before tax return season.
Mm-hmm.
And this always happens usually at the end of the year anyway. There's some
Yep.
crash across all the markets because the hedge funds are moving things around to get their stuff ready for taxes, to
Yep.
write off all their losses and all that. But if that stimulus check hits at the same time or around the tax refund at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
man, it'll be big and across all the markets. Crypto will be hot again. Like, because I can see a lot of people who's already in the markets taking that
Yep.
money and putting it right back in,
Yep.
especially at these low prices.
I mean, I'm just imagining how much inflow, so like, if this PDT thing goes through, the way it is set up
Mm,
is it's going to be on a per bank basis. So your bank decides where they want to sit their minimum. So what it's going to do is set it where the minimum is 2,000 to do it, but the bank can say, well, we want to make it 8,000, or we want to make it whatever. So they're putting more power into the bank's hands. But if the banks bring it down to 2,000, how much money are they going to make from people trading just each transaction?
oh God.
Because, man, I mean, I'm just trying to think, if like people that do like the high
Especially,
frequency
dude,
trading.
the small caps are gonna go
Yeah,
nuts. The small
yeah.
caps will go nuts because people with $2,000 accounts will be, leveraging $10,000 to try to trade small caps and
Mm-hmm.
make the big rips. It's gonna
Well,
be a hot market.
it's another thing too we're not thinking about. All the people that have run to offshore banks,
Mm-hmm.
islands, and things coming back to U.S. banks. Even if the U.S. bank says, "Oh, I'm just going to make it 8,000," well, that's a lot better than 25K. I'll come back to the U.S. because the U.S. has all these regulations and safety mechanisms that I don't have to worry about in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, and then also people from other countries wanting to participate in our banks, because now we got better protection, we got better regulations. I mean, it could be a worldwide money making machine, and when I think about all the stuff that Trump's doing with the tariffs and all of this, that will bring a major amount of investment back into the US,
Yeah.
in banks and everything.
Well, we know all the banks are moving to blockchain and crypto and all that. Feds are, the government's on board. Trump's pushing, wanting America to be the new Bitcoin
Mm-hmm.
capital of the world. So you add all that together, it's looking pretty bullish for the short term. Now,
Yeah.
the money printer is definitely already going burr, though, and it's going to keep going burr even more, I think, throughout this
Yeah.
next year, maybe the next couple of years.
Yeah. Also, I was looking into them tokenizing a lot of these assets, as far as like Nvidia, AMD, where when you actually own the digital token, and it
Mm-hmm.
is that it's not like a fraction, or you're not really owning it, you're owning a derivative. No, you're actually owning AMD as a
Yep.
digital asset like crypto. And I think
Yep.
speeding up those transactions, and you know I don't even know if we're going to have any reason to ever go back to a PDT rule or any kind of regulation that will hold you back from entering the market.
They can't, because like Jupiter on Solana now has added predictions, so you can trade crypto on there, you can trade stocks on there, you can trade futures on there. You can now predict whether JD Vance is going to win the next presidency, or if the Rockets are going to beat Golden State. It has all the predictions on there now, and that's directly using USDC on Solana.
Yeah, I saw a trading platform. You trade the weather. You're like, oh, on Tuesday it's gonna be XYZ, and you trade the weather, bro.
But trading the weather sounds awesome. I need to see that platform. Turn me on to trading the weather.
I'm like, bro, at this point we trade anything. We can trade anything.
There's people out there who are buying gamer girls bathwater and their stinky panties. You can trade anything out here, bro. There's value. Another man's trash is another man's treasure. Okay. When the world is topsy-turvy and all crazy and chaotic, traders are the ones who survive because they know how to trade up. Hopefully. Gamblers, some will survive, but some gamblers will not. That's why you gotta be a trader. You gotta always be trading up. And this is a great time for it. Oh, we lost you. Your volume's gone.
Yeah, so I think this is a great time to be a statistician, where you're more into the numbers, because I think more and more people, as we're going into this kind of lean hard on computers, lean hard on AI, the math is going out of the window. And so people aren't doing their own math. I remember I was working with not ChatGPT. I was working with Copilot or something, and I was asking it some questions. It gave me some math, and I was like, I had to go and pull out I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't right. And then I put it in. It was like, oh yeah, you're exactly right. I'm like, what do you mean I'm exactly right? I just went and got a pencil and paper and did the math myself. What? Like, what?
Yeah, there's several people who've brought up to me, they think that some of the AI paid subscriptions they're making it to where the AIs are acting dumb, so that you have to spend more money on the prompts. Like sometimes it'll just be like a bugged AI response. You know what I mean? Hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you're ready for a new episode every Sunday. This is Wall Street and Web3 with HHTrader and Framework Fortune.
Yeah, I think that's why more people are investing in prompt engineering. More people are investing in all of the umbrellas of AI, because it just doesn't make any sense to spend, let's say you're paying a web developer, I don't know, 250K to develop webs and all of that. And then this AI comes and they can develop 10 websites in an hour. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, we need to focus on that thing, building that thing, building up the prompts, making sure they're secure with our data, because the AI, it can be specified. So a company can have only its data in this AI thing, and you just type it in and it gives you exactly what the company wants you to see. So AI, it's like, it can be sculpted to be a weapon against employees, just like these companies that have their own code. They have their code that you can't take it anywhere else. Once you learn it, it's like, okay, well, I know all of these keywords and everything. I know how everything works. Then you go to another company. They're like, what are you doing, bro? That's not how we handle code over here. And now you got to learn a whole new system. So it can be sort of a trap. So I like the more public AI that isn't so hands-on with individual companies.
Yeah.
This
open source AIs.
Yeah. But you still need to know where AI is sending your data. You know, a lot of people enter things in there as far as like passwords and all kinds of things. Sometimes the AI it's nice. It'll say, hey, you entered a password. You don't want to do that. And then sometimes if you're using like an open source, it's like it just disappears. It's like, wait, didn't I put a password there? Gone. It's like, where did it go? Dark web.
Yeah, that's some good tips there.
Yeah.
I don't put any passwords in, but that's not a good idea. Don't put your passwords in the AI.
Yeah.
That's real crazy.
How did that guy from Russia get my password?
Yeah,
Been
exactly.
using AI. Yeah, I was using it to do some banking, do some calculations. Okay.
So, yeah, what's your top AI watch? Nvidia, you said at the beginning of the show, but like
Nvidia.
that's the
Um.
main driver, I guess, of
Yeah.
everything.
I'm really torn. Okay, so I like the AI, but I also am into Elon and what he's doing with robotics.
We
So
got
integrating those AI with robot, I mean, I've been looking at the stuff that he's been doing, especially with the service robots, the ones that are cleaning up houses, the ones that are now they have one that's I was watching that was available for like 25K or 20K or something, and it'll clean your house. It does a couple things, but they have some better ones coming that do way more tasks, way more. And I think that leaning that way with robotics is it. It's almost like it can work without AI because once you get enough data points, you can actually just create a neural network from what you already know. You don't need any more information, right?
yeah,
Just like humans, we don't know everything, but we can clean up a house. We
right,
don't know everything, but we can cut a yard. I
yeah,
mean, somebody could get off the lawnmower and they don't even know it's a blade under there spinning. They're like, "Well, I cut the grass. I don't know how it got cut, but it happened."
yeah,
It's like we operate in stupidity. So seeing a robot operate on limited knowledge, and so if AI shuts down, we still got these working robots that even though on limited knowledge, they know more than us. You walk up to them
yeah,
and you say, "Hey, what year was World War II?" And it's like blah 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 blah. Blah, blah. It's just it knows the dad jokes.
yeah. Have you seen the Rizbot? That
The
Rizbot,
Rizbot.
yeah,
That's what
he
they used
goes.
to call me. Is there another one?
that
No.
was good. That was good. I like that. Yeah, there's a little robot that goes around and it has a little necklace, a chain, and like a hat or something. It looks real crazy, like a little pimp robot. And I'm serious. They dressed him up like a little pimp, and he goes around just talking crazy and roasting people and hitting on women. It's hilarious.
So is it someone with the mic or is it actually the robot like going
I'm
like
not.
AI?
I'm not 100% sure. I've just
Got
seen the
you.
clips of the shorts of the robot interacting with people and roasting them.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a mic where they're talking through the robot, but it could be
Well,
that.
I mean, imagine you just teach the AI, you get like 1,000 roast sessions and it just learns every last dirty trick in the book. And you put him
Yeah.
on the stage and you turn him on and you do facial recognition. You're like, that
Mm-hmm.
face matches this roast. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. You might get some roast so factually painful. Like your bone structure and density is that of a weak human. You might get some real crazy stuff.
We're talking about that low testosterone. They were meant to be
Yeah,
eating on
yeah. You did blue chew.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I think robotics and AI and all of this taking work off of the and I know a lot of people they're like, man, well, we don't have jobs and all of this, but I think that was Elon's real goal is to say, hey, we don't have to do anything. You work because you want to, and we got robots to do everything else. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's kind of hard. It's kind of like a two-way street. One is like, okay, we're completely free, but we have robots as slaves, or we're tied to a corporation and we are like, well, if the robot becomes sentient, then it's going to kill us all. So it's like, are the robots good, bad? Are they going to end up slitting our throats because they figure out we're the problem? What is this?
Well, I've seen first it was Chinese beating their robots up, kicking them down hills and
I
all
saw,
that
yo,
stuff. But now I've seen some YouTubers, like one YouTuber is blowing his robots up and running them over with trucks and yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he's not even just doing it like, oh, this is an experiment. After he blows it up or runs it over, he goes up to the camera and goes, let that be a lesson to all you AI that you're not going to run things like you think you are. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's American, so we're doing. I don't know, man. This is not the way we should have started off with these robots. That's for sure. But what's on your robotic watch list or your AI robot watch list?
Like I said, Elon and Tesla. Of course, you know Elon just got that $1 trillion package. As long as he completes his whatever criteria, I mean, $1 trillion package is insane.
Yeah.
But his stockholders, they're like, "Hey, give it to him. This guy's he's producing." And so, you know, even though Elon tried to separate himself from Tesla, Tesla keeps calling him back.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, yeah, Tesla's going to be its own thing. And they just keep calling back. So I'm thinking like most CEOs or people that are working, a lot of their workers say, well, you can't even work a day in this job. But Elon can actually do the work. That's the thing. That's the issue, because he's not dumb or stupid. He can actually do those things. And people are like, wait a minute, didn't he on the spectrum? I mean, even if he has a little spectrumitis or whatnot,
spectrumitis,
he can still perform very well when it comes to the mathematics and just being a overall creator, just a pure creator. And
well, it's arguable he's either an alien or a robot too. So
I mean, if he is a robot, he's doing a lot for humanity. If he is an alien, he is a expert in the just learning our ways and everything else. Because I mean, with the amount of kids he has, Jesus Christ, you know, if he's an alien, he's definitely come to Earth to be fruitful and multiply, and then go back home. So, you know,
man. Never know.
I mean, maybe a couple of his kids become like him and just try to, you know, go to Mars or something. Now, wasn't he the one that said he was going to Mars, or wasn't he going to Mars like this year, next year, or something like that?
Yeah, he's trying to get to Mars ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People been trying to get back into space for so long. I mean, space is such it's like crypto. Well, it's way more than like crypto, but I mean, speaking of new frontiers, what are you thinking about the whole race to get? Was it Russia and China and the U.S. were trying to get like power stations onto, was it the moon? I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. As far as SpaceX and Tesla, that's still, I mean, I still want to see where that goes, but I don't know if I'm willing to invest in it. I see the small caps pop up sometimes and I see them rip. I'm like, well, this is a SpaceX catalyst. I don't know if it's going to go. And then it's like 5, 10, 20. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's going. And so,
well,
yeah.
I think what is already happening right now is at least Elon has sent Tesla robots to the moon, to Mars, at least to the moon, because they've already shown that they can send a rocket up into space and have it come back down, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've already sent them up there and they're mining resources and bringing them back.
Yeah. I mean, or we could just be wrong and maybe the Earth is flat.
Well, that's a possibility, man. It could be a paroma. It could be all trapped in this dome. It could be a lot of different possibilities, man.
Yeah.
But the main thing that's important is, are you surviving out here? And that comes with being smart, doing your research, and tuning in Sundays for an episode of Wallstreet and Web3 with HHTrader, the man, and me. And me, Framework Fortune. Hit that like button and subscribe. Go follow HHTrader on his YouTube channel. What you be doing over there, H?
Man, we do our due diligence. We go through all of the market news, all of everything, and we find ways to extract value and wealth out of the market, whether it be knowledge or money. And, we always want the money. So, we try to do both, but we're focused on getting the green.
Yeah, and you're live streaming how much a week?
Every morning pre-market, starting bright and early, as soon as 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you're on other time zones, Central Standard Time, we stream for about an hour and 30 minutes before the market opens. So we pretty much everything before you get to the opening bell, and then you're ready to roll.
Yep, and catch that all on HHTrader YouTube. And go in the description below, you'll find the links to that, and also the Discord where he's got an active community of traders talking all throughout the day, exchanging ideas. Follow us everywhere. We'll be back. Till next time. Peace.